Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama,
Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama,
Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama,
Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama,
Radhe Shama, Radhe Shama,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe Radhe
Radhe Sham,
Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe Radhe Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe Radhe Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham, Radhe 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 Sham.
Jai Gurudev. So we are Guruji is doing Giridhari Abhishekam. I guess you all know who Giridhari is. Everybody knows who Giridhari is? I see some faces which are like, not really. So Giridhari is Krishna, is God himself. Giridhari, the one who upholds the mountain. So in the Leela of Giridhari, all the people of Gokul, they were always worshipping once a year Indra, the one who brings the rain. Because they were afraid that if they don't worship him, he will not bring the rains. And if there's no rains, there's no crops, etc., etc. So they worshipped Indra every year. Now when Krishna was born, he knows that Indra is very proud. Indra is the king of the gods, the demigods. He's very proud. And of course, God and the Master come to remove our pride. Because if we have pride, we will never rise where we have to reach. So Krishna said to his father, why should we worship Indra? Indra's duty is to bring rain. It is not something which you have to ask him for. He's not doing you a favor. It's his duty. Like all of us, we have a duty to do. It's not something we should be asked for. It's our duty to serve the Lord. It's not something which we have to please come and serve. No, it's normal. The Atma is a loving servant of the Lord. So Krishna was saying, don't worship Indra. If you really want to worship somebody, then worship the cows. Because the cows are bringing you the milk, which you make butter of it, which nourish you, or worship the mountain, which feeds your cows. Why would you worship Indra? So Krishna is very cheeky and very tricky. He did all of this to break Indra's pride. So what happened? He actually managed to convince Nanda, his father, and everybody. And they started to worship Govardhan, the mountain. And Indra got very, very upset. And he sent his destructive cloud Samvartaka. It almost sounded like Samvartaka was coming. He sent the destructive cloud Samvartaka. I thought like, wow, we have here special effects. Like we didn't practice this. Like it's so cool. Yeah. It's like I'm just waiting till somebody comes in from the back, like. Yeah. And he was sending rains and rains and rains for days and days and days. And Krishna, what did Krishna do? This little boy went and uplifted with his little finger the Govardhan mountain and called all the people to take shelter underneath Govardhan, the holy mountain which is in Vrindavan. And like this, Giridhari is the one who breaks the pride and who protects us, gives us shelter, protects and saves the devotees. Because if we take shelter at the feet of the Lord, nothing can happen. And like that, after some time, also Indra realized his mistake and he came down and he surrendered to Krishna. The same thing seems today here. Like there was a lot of dry time before. Guruji was saying, it's funny, no? So much dry time, the moment we come, rain, 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 rain. It's raining and we are sheltered here by this beautiful temple, the provisorical temple, by this ashram. Not the provisorical ashram, because the temple is going to be the big one. But we are sheltered in the ashram. That's what actually ashram means. Ashram means a shelter. In India, the ashrams are the places where people, wandering monks, pass by, they get shelter, they get food, they get recharged spiritually. That's how it has always worked. Ashrams are there to give you again the essence of what life is about. When you're outside in the world, as much as you might be dedicated, as much as you might do your practice, as much as you might try to remember what really matters, very easily you forgot what the essence of life is. Anybody of you who got distracted sometimes in life and forgets what life is really about? Lift your hand. You see, even the people who live in the ashram have those moments. Because that's just the chanchal mind, this mind which is flickery, always jumping around the senses, which want constant pleasure. It is normal that we get so quickly absorbed by the world and forget who we truly are and what the true purpose of life is. If today is our last day, how would I want to live it? What do I want to give to this world? That is the mindset of a devotee. What can I give? Not what can I take, what can I get? What can I give to this world? Because that is what love does, no? Love is constantly giving. We hear in the Bhakti path, it's always about serving God. Become the loving servant of God. Well, it's not really attractive. It is attractive if you know what it means. But if you hear others which say like, you are God, most of the people like that much more. I am God. I'm not the servant. I am. Yeah, Indra. I am the best one. I'm the highest one. I'm the strongest. I'm very humble. Yeah, So service is an expression of love. When you are in love with somebody, anybody who has been in love, freshly in love, just 3 people? You can see that's America. Like if you go to a Latin country, like you don't need to ask these questions because they're constantly like in love with somebody. So you have been in love? Yes. Yeah? So how is it when you're fresh in love? Of whom do you think? The other? Which other? Not the beloved one, the other one? Okay, you think of your beloved, with whom you want to spend your time. With the beloved, no? If, let's say, you invite your beloved for a rendezvous, what you gonna cook? Sure, that is always right, Swami. Are you gonna cook something which you like or what the beloved likes? Let's say Guruji comes to your house. What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna check out the people who know what he likes, right? Why? Maybe he likes things which you detest. Still, you're gonna cook what he likes, isn't it? Why? Because you love him. So what is love doing? Love. You forget about yourself. You want to serve the beloved. And why do you want to serve the beloved? To please him. If he sits there and takes like something, and like when I invited him to Italy, when he came first time to Italy, I gave him some traditional food from our place, not pasta, like knödel, I don't know, it's something, yeah, and he was like, ew. It's not like, come on, we cooked it with so much love. Just eat it. You say that to a beloved one once you are settled after a few months. But in the beginning, it's like, oh, you don't like it. What can I make for you? How can I please you? Because that's what love does. Love always wants to give the best, because the pleasure of the beloved is your pleasure. Isn't it? So service is an expression of love. As abstract it might sometimes sound, we are the eternal loving servant of God. It is a very simple psychology which we have in this world. If a mother loves its child, it will serve its child constantly, isn't it? It will forget about herself. She will forget about herself because she loves. That's what love does. Love is service. So as devotees, we are the eternal loving servant of God, which is that little experience of love, which you remember how it feels when you are in love? How does it feel? How is life? Good? Or if you have a boss which is annoying you, does that matter? He doesn't annoy you anymore because you're in love. If it's raining, does it annoy you? No, because you're in love. When you're in love, nothing matters. The thing is, the problem is, in this world we fall in love. We don't rise in love. The love for God, the love for the Master is something which has three qualities. It is eternal, it is ever growing, and there's nothing higher to it. Means that you're today in love, tomorrow you're more in love, the day after you're more in love, and every day for all eternity you're getting more and more in love. This feeling of love and wanting to give and to serve is actually growing and growing, because it's just your natural state. That's who you are. That's who we are. This Atma is an eternal part of him. Mam evam jojiva loke, Krishna says in the Gita. You are an eternal part of me. He wants to experience the love he is through the parts which we are. You're not supposed to live for yourself. You're supposed to live for him. But to be able to live for him, something needs to be broken. What needs to be broken? The pride of Indra. The pride needs to be broken. And then you take shelter. You take shelter in the ashram, so that you can grow in that love through the sangha, through the prayer. Sometimes people say, what do you need a temple? What do you need an ashram for? God is everywhere. Yes, God is everywhere. Like air is everywhere. But when you put on a fan and blow the air in your face, you perceive it much more, isn't it? That's what an ashram is. That's what a temple is. It's get intensified. through this constant dedication of all the devotees, all the people who come, who pour out their heart, the deities which are not just blessed, here's like saligrams, manifested deity from the heart of Guruji, devotees who every day pray and sing. This generates something, and all of you can and should be part of it, because your purpose of life is to love Him, is to serve Him. Not because you must, but because it's your very nature. And if there's resistance, because in Seva there's often resistance. I remember in the ashram in Germany, like when there's prayer is going on, everybody is ready. Let's do some meditation, everybody is ready to go for meditation. When somebody runs around with a big sign, urgent Seva in the kitchen needed, everybody takes out their phone and it's like, I would really like to, but later maybe, next time maybe. You see how you get tricked by the mind not to do service. But like we said yesterday, the yogi acts to purify oneself. Because like Krishna says in the Gita, you can hear about the mystery of the self. You can read about the mystery of the self. But even after hearing and reading over it 1,000 times, lifetimes long, you still do not know what that mystery is. You want to know what that mystery really is? That's the difference between knowing and living it. You want to know it? I give you the science of yoga. And the first science of yoga he gives is karma yoga. Serve. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi. Do everything, every action, everything you eat, everything you do. Tat kurushvasma arpanam. Make it an offering to me. Make everything you do an offering to me. So an ashram, a place, a physical place, is such a great blessing, because we couldn't be here now if we wouldn't have this place. You came from all over the country, even from abroad, to be here today with Guruji, to be in this ashram. This is the beginning, and it will only carry on if all of you find this truth inside of yourself and take this opportunity to actually come and help in this place, serve. Like we were just in Toronto, where they opened an a temple, and Sairam said, out of nothing, a couple came which lives like 3 or 4 hours distant from the temple, and they came every weekend just to help set up the temple. And in the end, they came every day, driving 3-4 hours, coming 3-4 hours, going back. What dedication, what blessing for those people. Blessed are those who take the opportunity. Because otherwise spirituality is just words, it's just hot air. Yes, we love you, Guruji, oh, I love you so much, oh, it's so great. But then when it's about to actually express the love, Govinda. When it's about to express that love, that sincerity, yeah, what we said, an expression of love is service. When the time comes to actually show your true love, then who is really? It's like you have a beloved and you say, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then he says, let's spend time together, and says, I don't have time, sorry. Like how much do you really love me? How much do you really dedicate? So I invite you really all to take this chance, because we have no clue what blessing it is. When we were in India, in Mukambika, for example, it's a beautiful Devi temple. Guruji was saying, all of you, you have been here in this place. You have helped building this place. And whatever you contribute in a holy place, in an ashram, in a temple, every brick you lay, every little service you do, you will profit from it for the rest of the existence of this place. Every prayer which is being done here, you will have a share on it. You will have a little bit of that blessing by contributing, by being physically here, by contributing in your seva, financially, whatever, however you can contribute and serve, whatever your heart calls out for. Because true spirituality is action. Action speaks more than words. And the spirituality with Guruji is a true spirituality. It is not just some superficial thing. So I just invite you, take this opportunity to be under the shelter of Govardhan and to break your pride. Because when you do service, you will see how your pride comes to the surface, when you have to work with other people, when you have to do things which you don't want to do, etc., etc. That's a great opportunity. The more you have resistance inside, the more it is a sign that you should go for it. Because that means you have to overcome yourself. Because the greatest fight is the fight with yourself, and the greatest victory is the victory over yourself. So take this opportunity of this beautiful ashram, and yeah, I hope it will grow and grow for the times to come. Jai Gurudev.
Giridhari Radha ki jai. एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. कृष्णा कृष्णा, बस तू ही हमारा है. कृष्णा कृष्णा, बस तू ही हमारा है. कान्हा कान्हा, बस तू ही हमारा है. कान्हा कान्हा, बस तू ही हमारा है. एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है. Krishna Krishna बस तू ही हमारा है
Krishna Krishna बस तू ही हमारा है
कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है
बस तू ही हमारा है
जन्म जन्म के रिश्ता अपना
जन्म जन्म के रिश्ता पाना
जन्म जन्म के रिश्ता अपना
जन्म जन्म के रिश्ता पाना
टूट न जाए ये बंधन
टूट जाए बंधन
टूट न जाए ये बंधन
टूट न जाए बंधन
कृष्णा कृष्णा तुम हमारा है
कृष्णा कृष्णा बस तू ही हमारा है
कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है
कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है
घोर अंधेरा कोई न मेरा
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 दीप जलाओ मेरे गुरुदेव
दीप जलाओ मेरे गुरुदेवा
दीप जलाओ मेरे गुरुदेव
दीप जलाओ मेरे गुरुदेव
कृष्णा कृष्णा बस तू ही हमारा है
कृष्णा कृष्णा एक तू ही हमारा है
कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है
कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है
एक तू ही सहारा है बस तू ही हमारा है
एक तू ही सहारा है बस तू ही हमारा है
कृष्णा कृष्णा 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 बस बस तू ही हमारा है। कान्हा कान्हा बस तू ही हमारा है।
कान्हा कान्हा
बस तू ही हमारा है। एक तू ही सहारा है, बस तू ही हमारा है। जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। जय
माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
सुंदर कुंडल नैन विशाला, गले सोहे वैजंती माला।
सुंदर कुंडल नैन विशाला, गले सोहे वैजंती माला।
या छवि की बलिहारी,
या छवि की बलिहारी,
या छवि की बलिहारी।
या छवि की बलिहारी।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय
मनहारी। जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। राधे श्याम राधे श्याम।
You people are not singing.
जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम। कब हूँ लोट लोट दहिकायो, कब हूँ मधुवन रास रचायो।
लूट लूट दिखायो, कब मधुवन रास रचायो।
कब हूँ लोट लोट दहिकायो, कब हूँ मधुवन रास रचायो।
लूट दिखायो, कब मधुवन रास रचायो।
नाचत विपिन विहारी,
नाचत विपिन विहारी।
नाचत विपिन विहारी।
नाचत विपिन विहारी।
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम। राधे
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
जय माधव मदन
मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। राधे श्याम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम। राधे
श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्यामा श्याम।
ग्वाल बाल संग धेनु चराए,
वन वन भ्रमत फिरे अधुराए
बाल बाल संग धेनु चराए वन वन भ्रमत फिरे अधुराए
ग्वाल बाल संग धेनु चराए वन वन भ्रमत फिरे अधुराए
बाल बाल संग धेनु चराए वन वन भ्रमत फिरे अधुराए
काढ़े कामर कारे
काढ़े कामर कारे
काढ़े कामर कारे
काढ़े कामर कारे
श्री राधे
राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम राधे
श्याम राधे श्याम
श्री राधे
राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
चुरा चुरा नवनीत झुकायो ब्रजवनीत पै नाम धरायो
चुर चुरावनित नीच झुकायो ब्रजवनित पै नाम धरायो
माखन चोर मुरारे माखन चोर मुरारे
माखन चोर मुरारे
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम राधे
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
एक दिन मन इंद्र को मायो नख ऊपर गोवर्धन धार्यो
एक दिन मन इंद्र को मार्यो नख ऊपर गोवर्धन धार्यो
नाम पदायो गिरिधारी नाम पदायो गिरिधारी राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम राधे श्याम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी
जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
दुर्योधन को भोग न खायो रुक सागर वे धुर घर खायो
दुर्योधन को भोग न खायो रुक सागर धुर घर खायो
ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी
ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी
ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी
ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी
राधे श्याम
श्री राधे
राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय श्याम श्याम
करुणा कर द्रौपदी पुकारे पत में लिपट गए बनवारे
करुण कर द्रौपदी पुकारे पत में लिपट गए बनवारे
निराकार है नर नारे
Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Shyama Shyam. Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Shyama Shyam.
भक्त भक्त तब तूने तारे, बिना भक्ति हम तारे द्वारे।
भक्त भक्त सब तुमने तारी, बिना भक्ति हम तारे द्वारे।
ले जो खबर हमारे,
ले जो खबर हमारे,
ले जो खबर हमारे,
ले जो खबर हमारे। राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम। राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
अर्जुन के रथ हाँक नहारे, गीता का उपदेश तुम्हारे।
अर्जुन के रथ हाँक नहारे, गोपी के दुर्दर्शन तुम्हारे।
चक्र सुदर्शन धारी,
चक्र सुदर्शन धारी,
चक्र सुदर्शन धारी।
चक्र सुदर्शन धारी।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी।
माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम। राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा श्याम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा।
जय माधव मदन मुरारी, जय केशव कलिमलहारी। राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय श्यामा। श्री राधा गिरधारी लाल की जय। परह नित्य नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। समस्त भक्त मंडली की जय। श्री सारग्राम देव भगवान की ओम। अज्ञानं तिम्रान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Jai Gurudev, all of you. So, you have any question? Nobody have any question? Pritu, you are my spare tire. Maybe I have some question for you. Yes, Mataji. You have a question? No? Ah, Rosa.
Jai Gurudev. So, Guruji, I've been practicing Atma Kriya Yoga for a little over a year now. And I really focus on the practice and am doing it every day, dedicatingly. And I still don't really feel or understand how it connects to bhakti. And so maybe you could shed some light on how Atma Kriya Yoga enhances our bhakti life and our bhakti experience.
I don't know how many of you have done Kriya here, but in Atma Kriya there is 9 form of bhakti, 9 specific Kriya, and each Kriya is related to one aspect of bhakti. And of course the last one is the main Kriya what you do. It's called Atma Nivedana Bhakti. You see, the point is, like Krishna said, you have to engage. You have a mind, you have a body. You can't just sit idly. So you're engaging into that. When you're practicing your sadhana, or you're doing your kriya itself. But if your mind is focusing upon, yes, I'm doing that, where is the bhakti into it? Are you doing it wholeheartedly, or are you doing it to expect something in return? Very often whatever we do, there's always an expectation behind there. I'm doing that, I shall gain something from that. I should feel a little bit energy somewhere. I should feel some kundalini shakti rising somewhere, some vibration. Then I will think, yes, my bhakti is right. If I don't feel it, my bhakti is not right. I have to question it. But it's not true. If you have been initiated in something, your duty is to do it. Not ask any question. Whenever you are right, whenever you will, you are ready to feel, automatically will come. But no, we have to have a certain power over it. We have to do it. That's why you see very often people set a certain goal in their life, which means I will practice that for 12 months. I will practice this. Please tell me, you chant mantra. How many should I chant? How long should I chant? You can't just chant it. Just chant throughout your day, all the time. Why this have to be bothered about? Krishna said it to Arjun. Act. Your duty is to act. The result is from me. That result is not in your hand. If you act selflessly, the result will flow. But if you act egoistically, you will wait a long time to get the result. And this is the problem that everybody, whenever we practice spirituality, I'm talking in general, I'm not talking only one kind. I'm not saying that ours is better than anybody else. No. Maybe it is, but Krishna elevate bhakti, no? Without bhakti, nothing is possible. So you see, when you're in bhakti, you just do it. You don't concern about the result about it. Chapter 9, verse 31 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, automatically, those who surrender to me, my bhakta, he clearly said, my bhakta. He didn't say somebody else, he said, my bhakta. Automatically, they will have that divine knowledge. Automatically, that bliss will awake inside of them, without them doing much, actually. Just because they have surrender. All the other asanas, all the exercises, everything prepared you to that point where you forget about yourself. Then he said, my bhakta are never lost. Nothing is lost for my bhakta. Why? When you analyze that verse itself from the Gita, you see the assurance which Krishna gave. You know, it's not just mere assurance like that. Okay, you are practicing it, you know, you will reach somewhere if, you know. No, I said no. The point is that that moment you surrender, the moment you say, it's not in my hand anymore. You realize that, but this is not in my hand. It is in your hand. I leave it up to you. You know best. The moment that happened, Bhagwan threw himself. It becomes so natural. And he gave that assurance that my devotee don't lose anything. Which means even death, when it comes, they will not lose anything. Even if you have not achieved that purpose of life in this life itself, you know. Give you that assurance, no, you are mine, I will remind you of that. In whatever life, you know, next life you will take, I will be there. I'm eternal, you are eternal, we'll enjoy that eternity. But you belong to me. You will come to me. So coming to the point of explaining to you about the Kriya itself, you know, it's not about trying to understand the where, which, if I practice this one, that bhav will awake, that bhakti will awake. No, it's not about that. It's about just doing it. It is infused inside it. It is coded inside. Yeah. But when you do it with a mindless state, you will have the benefit of it. But if you're doing it with the mind, which is very active, of course, then you will have limitation. You know, he said, in that verse, Bhagwan gave that assurance. My bhakta will reside in that peace. Peace will be in them. Which kind of peace? You know? It's not a superficial peace. No? I want ice cream. No? I long for ice cream. So you eat the first ice cream. Second, finish ice cream diminish, peace diminish also with it. You know, you want peace. You're thirsty for water. Yeah? You drink nice cold water. Here in America, you like freezing cold water. I don't know people how you drink this, but it's amazing. How did you drink? How is the water? Oh, I feel peaceful. Oh, when you have drank the water had to come exit somewhere else also. And you have to run quickly. How do you feel after exiting the water? Peaceful. But these are not permanent, you know. You will feel peace for a short time. The same thing, you have a desire, get fulfilled, you feel peace for a short time. But they are not permanent, they are not carry on, you know. One desire will lead to another desire. You know? You rush to the bathroom, you will have to go rush again to the bathroom. You know, you're not finished because you keep eating and keep drinking. So the peace that you entertain by the mind, it's very limited. And Bhagavan said, no, my devotee will reside in a certain peace in whatever happened to them. You know, maybe they fall sick, maybe they are in deep problem, maybe they are in danger, but they don't deviate from that sense of trust and faith. How quickly we deviate from that, no? Because our mind is so focused upon limitation of happiness. Then we don't hold upon that eternal happiness inside of us, in spite of us feeling it. When one gives that assurance, no, my bhakta don't lose anything. They know once they are seated into that bhakti itself, they are never at loss. They are dear to me. When they turn the gaze upon me and call for me, I rush to them. In the mind, when I rush to them, I forget about myself. I come to their rescue. But if they are still holding upon the little pride and ego, I'll sit there and wait for them. to get rid of. That's why sometimes Bhagwan delay. He's waiting. Let all these ego inside be consumed. You know? Let what I have to give you. You know, you are a magnet. You have attracted me. So let you be pulled to me. Let me be pulled to you, and let not be anything in between. And this is when you practice Kriya, you know, when you're doing it, you know, in spite of being into the, you know, because when we are talking about Bhakti, we are not talking about asana, we are not talking about breathing technique, you know. But these are all steps to purify yourself, you know, to purify your mind, to purify your body, to purify your samskara, to purify your heart, which is the most important of all, you know. Because if your heart is not purified, Bhakti is not there. If your mind is not purified, the knowledge would not be there. You may hear beautiful words, you may hear and try to understand. Yes, beautiful, I have heard it. The moment you step out, you forget about it. Yes, so many like this. You know, you go to big lecture, sitting there, deep, you know. At the end, what have you understand? Nothing. Because you have never applied it to yourself. You have listened, yes. The ears have heard it, and you have gone out. Then you want to hear another lecture. Then you want to hear another, beautiful thing. But it keep on like that. You're entertaining the object of this desire. Yeah? Once you keep entertaining that kind of desire, these are not desire that will make you happy. It will not lead you anywhere. They are limited desire. You will have limited happiness from that. It will surface and will disappear. But it is not eternal. That's why throughout spirituality we say, get to know who you are. It is not this. When we say get to know, you go in front of the mirror. Yeah, Swamiji have said, get to know who I am. I'm looking at myself now into the mirror, you know. Beautiful. There was once a brahmachari, every time he would pass in front of the mirror, I can't remember who was it anymore. Every time he would pass in front of the mirror, he would stop. Every time I would see him, you know, and I was making fun of him always. Yeah. So, you see, when the mind is running toward the outside, we long only for short-term happiness. You know? And this is when we observe our mind, we observe ourselves, we see. We like to hoard things around, you know, we always like to amass so many things. It's nothing that we want, it's nothing that we need. No, but we have it. You know, because we think we depend upon that, you know. But nothing is permanent. They are all passing. All those things that we think that we need, that we need in our life, they're all passing. Look, we say we need a wife. It's passing. Husband, passing. We need children. It's also passing. We need something. It is passing. Life will pass, you know, and death will be there. That also pass. But what have you achieved? You know, we like the illusion of things, you know. We like not the reality. You know. We look at the mirror, we don't like it. We don't love ourselves. We love the image what we project, you know. An image have to be in a certain way, no? We like to hear the praises of others because we like to hear them telling us how we should be. It's also a projection. It's also a reflection of others. You're scared to be yourself. You're scared to be, you know, thinking what other will think about. So we project that illusion. We attach to ourselves to that illusion, and then we hold upon that illusion. because we feel good. And how would the reality reveal itself? It will never reveal itself, because you are so much looking for the illusion of things. You are looking for the reflection of things, not the reality. That's why when you're doing your kriya, when you're doing your sadhana, when doing your spiritual practice, it elevates you, It gives you a different sense of understanding. It's not what others have been telling you, but that what deep inside of you. That's what yoga stands for, That union. But union with whom? With the air? With the wall? No. Union with something which is divine. First, what is eternal inside of you, have that union with someone which is divine, which is eternal. You are eternal being, he's eternal being. Only our relation can be. No? That is our only true relationship. All relationships are passing by. You will soon divorce this world. I'm not talking about divorcing in that way, but I'm talking just to divorce the world. You will die. You will go. Nothing is permanent. Only permanent is yourself. That is what you have to realize. Yes, Brituman. Yeah. They are good people. When I go out, they'll see me. Okay, please. Exchange of population.
Take it if this is your first time.
And the German people stay outside, huh? Oh, sorry, thank you. The European people outside.
If this is your first time seeing Guruji, please come into the temple. If you have seen Guruji before and you are in the temple, please go to the hallway so the people who haven't seen him yet have a chance.
Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe Shri 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 Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Mataji.
Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, 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 Radhe, Shri Radhe, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe, Shri Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe, 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 Shri Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe, Shri Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe.
Yes, Pritu, ask your question.
Just before to me to ask my question, if someone who just came would like to ask some question to Guruji? Guruji, do you believe in miracles? I want you to know that my finding Bhakti Marga on YouTube and watching your videos changed my life entirely around.
That is a wonderful miracle. Look, if I
I'm a whole
didn't
new
believe in
person.
miracle, I would not be here.
I thank you. You're a gift from God to the world.
You see, life is the greatest miracle. Yeah. And it's so beautiful because each moment of our life, we have that choice, whether to be happy or not. We have that choice to love or not to love. There's no forcing in anything. But when we understand life itself, we understand the meaning of life, we can appreciate each moment. And that is the most wonderful miracle. And for your question, yes, I do believe in miracle because I do it. And I live it every moment of my life. And I see the miracle in each people, each devotee, each people what I met, When you look at the eyes of the people, you see that little glitter, that speck of divinity which is shining inside of them. And you say, yes, in the Bhagavad, in the Puranas actually, there's this beautiful verse that says, Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, infuse himself in all his creation. His body became the mountain, his hair became the river, and so on, And you see that in everybody, when you start to appreciate, when you start to see him inside of you, when you feel him inside of you, you will see him in everyone and in everything. Not only in the animated things, but in the unanimated things also he's present. Because you see, in our mind we think that God have to be only, God is each person is a personification of the divine, only in the living things, So to the maximum we will find him in the tree. In the Hindu tradition we go around the tree. Very often here we see a lot of stones, For you, maybe for the mind is wondering why these people have so much stone in front. Because we perceive, the divine in all his aspect, not only in the aspect which is animated, but the unanimated also. Bhagavan in his fullness, God in his fullness. With God can't just be one thing. It have to be everything. It's either he's everything or he's not. And we all agree that God is everything. Whether you have experiencing or you have not experiencing, there is a certain understanding. But there is an energy behind everything, because nothing can be coincident. Nothing have just happened by itself. Life have not just happened by itself. Look at how many people, if you think that life is just a coincidence that it happened, of course science will tell you, yes, two persons come together and they have sex and then life happened. No, it's not just so easy. How many people are having the same thing and crying to have babies? So many couple come to me and asking, They can't. If that was so easy, they have done everything, every treatment, everything. Not possible. If that was so easy like that, if life was just a coincidence or just pure chance, no, then it should happen, but it don't. And that is the miracle of life, So.
Guruji, many of us, we hear the satsanga, but we don't listen the satsanga. There's a huge difference.
You see, when you hear, like I was explaining earlier, you hear many things, because the senses, you're drawn by the senses. The senses in the Gita, Krishna said, the sense flow onto the outside, to the object of senses. The sense run toward the object to fulfill the desire which the sense have. So that's why many people hear things. It's easy to hear, but to listen. The moment you start to listen, you become attentive. Then you have to change. You have to change. Whether you want it or not, you have to change. But many people don't want to change. That's why you hear many things, but you don't listen. You look at many things, but you don't see. I was telling this beautiful story. I don't remember, in Canada. No. There's this guru. One man, very rich businessman, said, "Okay, now it's time for me to go and search for the purpose of life. So to search for the purpose of life, I have to look for a teacher who have themselves transcend that reality, who have hold that love, who want to show me to me." So he heard there is a sadhu, a saint, sitting under a tree, and he approached the saint and said, "Excuse me, sir, I want to journey on my life, and I want to search firstly for my guru. I have to search for my spiritual teacher. Please, can you help me?" So said, "Fine, you will find your teacher sitting under a tree. He is dressed in that way. He looked like that." And he was very happy. Said, "Okay, bow down, take the blessing," and he go searching for his guru. He searched and searched and searched for 30 years, roaming around everywhere in the Himalayas, in the desert, and so on, searching for the guru. He didn't find. Finally, he came back to his village after 30 years. As he approached the village, he noticed the tree. He said, "The wise men have told me that tree looked very much like that." So as he approached nearer to the tree, he saw the old man still sitting. And he realized he's dressing how he told me. He's dressing in the same clothes. That shocked him. He ran quickly and fall and prostrate himself in front of him and said, "It is you." And the man smiled. He said, "Yes, it is you that I was looking for. But why have you made me look for you for 30 years? When you were just in front of me." Then the old man said, "Look, I told you I was in front of you. You see me. You were looking at me, but you never see me. I'm sitting under the same tree. And for 30 years, because of you, I have not moved from here. I have not changed my clothes in case you don't recognize me. And I was waiting for you. I didn't die. Death could not come because I was waiting for you." You see, something can be in front of you. Something deep can be in front of you. But if you don't have that knowledge to perceive that greatness which is in front of you, you will miss the opportunity. And when would that opportunity show itself? When you are ready. When you can truly see, not just looking. When you can truly listen, not just hearing it. That is a big difference between the two. So it is a constant practice of observing oneself, analyzing oneself, and really see whether I truly want that or I'm just telling myself that I want. And this is why Krishna said to Arjuna in chapter 6, verse 34, Arjuna was crying, said, "No, it is more difficult to control, it's more easy to control the wind when controlling the mind, and controlling the mind is very difficult." But Krishna, in the next verse, Krishna said, "Well, it's true, it is very difficult, but it is not impossible. Two things that you have to do, it is with constant practice and detachment." In Bhagavad Gita, 82 times Krishna uttered the word detachment. 82 times, not one time. Why? Scared, detachment, what will I lose? What will I say? No, it's true. You know, especially in the West, it's like this. When you talk about, not only in the West, in the East also, you know. Imagine your children come and say, I'm leaving, I'm going to ashram. How would you be? Eh? Yes, please go, my child. No, you will not. Huh? So, there will be always who will look after me when I get old? You know, I said, you are, how say, it's like you have born the child on to look after you. You have, how do you call it? You have made a long-term investment. Huh? No, but hearing the word detachment, people get scared. Actually, in reality, what you have to detach is only your ego. You know? When you detach from your ego, the ego, you know, when you renounce that ego, your true reality, your true personality start to shine, you know. You start to be truly who you are. But as long as we can't, we just, how to say, keep entertaining the limitation. Huh? Eva is such an example, you know. So happy she is, you know. You know, because you appreciate, you know, each moment of your life, you know. Often I talk with Giridhari, and he's the most happiest person. And positive. Yeah. And don't say that life will not, how say, throw difficulty at you. You do go through, you know, but it's also a reminder, you know, that you appreciate what you have in life, you know. Because people can't appreciate what they have, you know. They always want more and more and more. You know, that greediness, you know, it's like, if I have this, I will be happy. If I have that, I will be happy. Then you are never happy, you know. You know, that they say, I will become millionaire. You know. 1 million will lead you to 10 million. 10 million say, no, it's not enough. You know, I notice that often, you know. Normally when you go on the spiritual path, according to the Shastra, according to the scriptures, you know, you have to give 10%. Yeah? 10% of whatever. It's everywhere, you know. Take it in any religion, you know. But the first who spoke about that was in the Ramayana. Ram Tetramanas explained about that, but you have to give that 10%. But that 10%, what it is a 10%, but normally in place of throw it away in something, you use it in the society to grow into your culture, into your, how say, path, to how say, make that service, you know, to participate. That's the word I was looking into. Very often I notice that, but okay, 100 rupees is easy to give, $100 is easy to give, no? Let's say you have $1,000, no? To give $100 it's easy. You have 10,000 to give 1,000, easy. You have 1 million to give 100,000, it's very difficult. The 10% have not changed, but everything has changed, you know, because that greediness inside take possession upon. Because it's never enough. We want to always more and more and more because we don't know what we want truly. We don't know. We want to be happy, yes, but we don't do anything to be happy. We are looking for this happiness elsewhere when that happiness is seated inside of you. Do we take time to go inside? No, it's very difficult. You know, Swamiji, give me something very quickly to do. You know? In chapter 18, verse 66, so one man go to the Guru, said, Guruji, please teach me the Gita. I said, okay, fine. Do you want to be taught the Gita? Be with me for 6 months. 6 months, Swamiji. Very difficult. You know how busy I am, my business, and so on and so on. I can't. There's not an easy way. Guruji said, okay, 15 days. Too difficult, Swamiji. 15 days, I don't know whether we'll have, I say, holiday, anything, you know. So it's quite difficult. There's no shorter one. So then one verse in that said, don't attach. Let go. Just one word from that verse. Let go. But that we can't do. And the whole thing is that in the how's it? Sarvadharma Parityagam. Parityagam. Just let go. That word, one word itself. Let go. That one word has to cover the whole Gita. And that is what we can't do. Because to let go, we have to have a tremendous trust and faith. Because how is our faith? How is our trust? That point, we are questioned. So, Jai. It's already one. Arti.
Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji. Chakar rehe sun, bhagal ghasun, Nitut dharshana paso. Chakar rehe sun, bhagal ghasun, Nitut dharshana paso. Vrindavan ke kunjagalina me, Vrindavan ke kunjagalina me, Tere lila kasu, Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji. Chakri mein darshan pavun, sumiran pavun karche. Chakri mein darshan pavun, sumiran pavun karche. Bhava bhakti jaghir pavun, Bhava bhakti jaghir pavun, Tinom parta sarsi, Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji. Mor mukuta pitambara sohe, Khale chanti mala. Mor mukuta pitambara sohe, Khale chanti mala. Vrindavana mein khena charave, Vrindavana mein khena charave, Mohan murali wala. Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar. Bhanam Vita Vitara Kumbari Samare Akhe Darshana Pasum Samare Akhe Darshana Pasum Bahira Kasumi Dari Mane Chakre Rakoji Giridhari Lala Chakre Rakoji Giridhari Lala Chakre Rakoji Giridhari Lala Chakre Rakoji Vira ke Prabhu kahi gambira sarara oji kera Vira ke Prabhu kahi gambira sarara oji kera Ari Radha Prabhu darshan dine Ari Radha Prabhu darshan dine Premana dikhe tera mane chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Chakre rako, chakre rako, chakre rako ji. Chakre rako, chakre rako, chakre rako ji. Mane chakre rako ji. Giridhari lala chakre rako ji. Shama mane chakre rako ji. Giridhari lala chakre rako ji. Govinda mane chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Giridhari lala chakre rakoji Eva mata sabita tumeva Tvameva vidya davinam tvameva Tvameva sarva mama deva deva Tvameva sarva mama deva deva Asatoma sadhamaya Tamasoma jyoti kamaya Mrityurmaha amritam kamaya Om Shanti 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 Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om Prem Samoshi Tosi Paritina Simadeva Kim Prem Samoshi Lakshmana Bhagavana Kim Prem Samoshi Radha Kishikane Lala Kim Prem Samoshi Giridhari Lala Kim Prem Samoshi Avatar Kriya Babaji Kim Prem Samoshi Ramanuja Charya Kim Prem Samoshi Satguru Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu Kim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Chanavalabhaya Paraya Paramam Purishaya Parikarma Mantiyanta Tanta Oshatari Sistani Samaraya Samaraya Mitcho Machaya Machaya Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasadarshanaaya Dipti Jwala Prite Sabye Shamana Hompa Varasme Param Brahmane Param Jyotishe Swaha Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om Itai Kura Premanande Hari Om Che Che Shri Radhe Che Che Shri Radhe Che Che Shri Radhe Sham Vektamare Govindam Gopinam Govindam Bhaktavatsarai Govindam Govindam Govindam